every single day, inside a handful of heavily guarded buildings in the United States. Machines produce more than $500 million in fresh $100 bills. That's enough cash to fill a swimming pool every 24 hours. But here's what almost nobody knows. The $100 bill in your wallet is not just printed. It's engineered. It hides at least 11 secret defenses, layered one on top of another, designed to defeat the most sophisticated counterfeiters on Earth. Most people will never spot more than 2 of them. By the end of this video, you'll see all 11, and you'll never look at a $100 bill the same way again. It begins with something most people get completely wrong. The $100 bill is not made of paper. Real paper is made from wood, and wood would tear, dissolve, and fall apart in your pocket within days. Instead, U.S. currency is printed on a special blend that is 75% cotton and 25% linen. This fabric is closer to the material in your shirt than to anything in a notebook. It's strong enough to survive being folded thousands of times, soaked in water, and run through a washing machine by accident. And this is no ordinary fabric. It is produced by a single secret supplier under tight government control. And simply possessing it without authorization is a federal crime. Counterfeiters can't buy it, can't make it, and can't fake the way it feels. That distinctive texture is defense number 1. And the criminal never even gets to the starting line. Woven into that fabric, while it is still being made, are tiny red and blue fibers scattered randomly across the surface. Look closely at a real bill, and you'll see them, thin colored threads embedded inside the material itself, not printed on top. This is defense number 2. A counterfeiter, using a printer, can only draw these fibers onto the surface, where they sit flat and lifeless. On a genuine note, they are part of the fabric, impossible to replicate with ink. But the engineers were just getting started. Before a single image is printed, the blank sheets receive a hidden security thread. Hold a $100 bill up to the light, and you'll find a thin vertical strip embedded inside, running from top to bottom. Printed along that strip, in letters far too small to see with the naked eye, are the words USA and the number 100. But the real magic happens under ultraviolet light, where that thread glows a distinct pink. This is defense number 3, and it's one a casual fake will almost always miss, because it lives inside the bill, not on it. Now comes the part that turns a sheet of fabric into money, and it's a technique most people have never heard of. It's called intaglio printing. Instead of laying ink flat onto the surface like your home printer, intaglio presses force specially engraved plates into the fabric under enormous pressure, pushing ink into the material and raising it slightly above the surface. This is why a real bill feels textured when you run your finger across it. The shoulder of Benjamin Franklin's jacket, the words, the numbers, they have a physical ridge you can actually feel. This is defense number 4, and it's one of the hardest of all to copy, because it isn't about the image, it's about the touch. The engraving itself is defense number 5. The portrait of Benjamin Franklin is not a photograph. It is hand-engraved by master artists into steel, built from thousands of tiny lines and dots so fine and so precise that no scanner or copier can fully capture them. Try to photocopy a bill, and the delicate lines of the portrait blur into mush. The human eye knows instantly that something is wrong, even if it can't say why. Then there's the ink, and this might be the cleverest trick of all. Look at the large number 100 in the bottom right corner of the bill. Tilt it back and forth, and watch the color shift from copper to green, like oil on water. This is called color shifting ink, and it is defense number 6. The formula is a closely guarded secret. The ink is extraordinarily expensive, and it simply cannot be reproduced by a standard printer, which can only ever produce one flat color. A photocopy of a real bill will show a number that stays exactly the same from every angle. The genuine one comes alive. If you look at the modern 100, you'll notice a wide blue ribbon running vertically down the face of the bill. Most people assume it's printed on. It isn't. This is defense number 7, and it might be the most advanced security feature ever placed on paper money. That ribbon is woven into the fabric, and it contains hundreds of thousands of microscopic lenses. Tilt the bill, and tiny images of bells and the number 100 appear to move, shifting from side to side as you move it up and down. There is no ink here at all. It is pure optics, an effect that took years to develop and costs a fortune to manufacture. For a counterfeiter, it is very nearly impossible. Defense number 8 hides in plain sight. To the right of Franklin's portrait is what looks like an empty space. Hold it up to the light, and a second ghostly image of Franklin appears inside the fabric itself. This is the watermark, created by varying the thickness of the material as it's made, not by printing. Because it's part of the structure of the bill, you can see it from both sides, and it vanishes the moment someone tries to copy the note on a machine. The 9th defense is one you'd never notice unless someone told you. Scattered across the surface of the bill is microprinting, words and numbers so small they look like simple lines or borders to the naked eye. Around Franklin's collar, along the golden quill, inside the numbers, are lines of text reading things like the United States of America and 100 USA. Under a magnifying glass, they're crisp and perfectly formed. On a counterfeit, they collapse into a smudge, because no ordinary printer has the resolution to render letters that small. Defense number 10 is invisible until the lights go out. Under ultraviolet light, that embedded security thread glows pink, and specific regions of the bill react in ways a fake never will. This is why cashiers in stores and banks pass suspicious bills under a small purple lamp. In a fraction of a second, a genuine note reveals a signature only the real manufacturing process can create. And the 11th defense is the one most people overlook entirely. It's the serial number. Every $100 bill carries a unique combination of letters and numbers, printed in a very specific ink and font, and recorded in a vast federal system. The placement, the spacing, the exact shade of green, all of it is controlled with precision. Counterfeiters frequently slip up here, repeating the same serial number across multiple fakes, a mistake that lets investigators trace and shut down entire operations. The number that looks like an afterthought is often what brings the whole criminal enterprise crashing down. So now you understand why the $100 bill is one of the most secure objects ever mass-produced. 11 defenses: the fabric, the fibers, the thread, the raised ink, the engraving, the shifting color, the optical ribbon, the watermark, the microprinting, the glow, and the serial number, all layered into a single rectangle of cotton and linen smaller than your hand. To defeat it, a counterfeiter wouldn't need to beat one of these. They'd need to beat all 11 at once. And that is exactly why, despite everything you've heard, successful counterfeiting of the modern 100 is extraordinarily rare. But here's the bigger truth, the one that goes far beyond a single bill. Money is one of the most carefully engineered objects on the planet, because the entire system depends on one thing: trust. The moment you can't trust what's in your wallet, everything stops. Understanding how money is actually created, protected, and moved is the first real step to understanding how wealth itself works, and how it's been built and defended for centuries. If you want to go deeper, I've put together a clear, no-nonsense guide that breaks down exactly how money is made, moved, and protected, and what that means for anyone who wants to understand value in the modern world. You'll find it linked in the description below. So, the next time a $100 bill passes through your hands, take a closer look. You now know 11 secrets hidden inside it that almost everyone around you will completely miss. If you found this fascinating, subscribe to Bullion Lab, where we take you inside the hidden world of how the most valuable things on Earth are made, protected, and moved. Because once you see how it really works, you can never unsee it.